is a video from Arch City Comics, I believe. Here, Arch City Comics is a lot of fun. So, thanks. Go subscribe to Arch City Comics if you enjoy this video.
Hail and welcome back to the world famous Art City Comics. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed and you've got that bell rung for notifications so you can stay up to date on all things Art City. So yesterday I posted a video covering this whole Detective Dead Critious debacle, and honestly, like mere moments after I posted the video, Critious himself returned to the Twitterverse with a lengthy thread here. I don't even want to say detailing or really explaining what happened. He did explain a couple things. So what he says here is, so I guess I'm kind of back, not in the right circumstances back, but I have a phone now, so I could finally use my Twitter and whatnot. Currently, I'm writing to you from my wife's work computer. I want to dismiss any claim that Preston Poulter is buying Detective Dead. So he must have a flip phone, because I don't know, there's not many phones out there that don't allow for the Twitter application to be used. And honestly, you could just open up Twitter in your phone's web browser. So I guess he's got a phone from the early 2000s, late 90s maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, he says he offered. I said I would think about it, but I never told him I would sell him backer info. I have emails to prove our conversation. I told him even if I did consider it, which I am not, I would never betray my backers info, not even if it were for $1 million. What about, or I'm sorry, $100 million. $100 million. Privacy is everything. Yes, I stopped production on Detective Dead. No, it is not dead. It's very much well alive. It's like any real-world project. You run out of funds. You can't afford the material to finish the work. So he did spend, apparently, all of the money somehow. I'm still trying to wrap my head around burning through almost $40,000 and only having, I think there's 60 pages finished. But he goes on to say, I did not spend the Detective Dead funds on personal things, aside from a bill here and there. Well, that's personal things. That's using your business money to pay your own bills. That's a no-no, sir. You shouldn't be doing that. I just didn't prioritize things in order. I spread the funds on various Detective Dead tiers and the other artists to do work for me on the project. Now, before I continue, I want to point out that there are countless campaigns out there from first-time creators who got a fraction of the money that Critious made, that are still producing their books, that the books are still coming out. They might not be on time, but they're still coming out. You've got books like Cybershock that has made just over $2,000. It's closing in March, and it's shipping right after that. The book is nearly complete. The Ballad of Dusty Tortillas hit quite a few roadblocks on its way, but I've seen the copies. They're on their way very soon. Backers are going to get those in its hands. Let's see who else. Another good one would be Captain Love by Drew Eash. First-time creator. Didn't make a whole lot of money, but he actually had his book was done and ready to print pretty much by the time he even launched the campaign. So he had a very quick turnaround. He promised backers that if you backed before the campaign ended, that you'd have your books by Christmas, and he delivered. You can still purchase his books through his Indiegogo page, Captain Love. Check that one out. That's a really good book. And the list honestly goes on and on. So I still smell something fishy about this whole situation. I do. He goes on to say the pencil alone is in the 10,000s, not including inking, coloring, lettering, and tier fulfillment. That also does not include printing, shipping, packaging. You all have every right to be upset, and I will not be defending myself. Instead, I will be in agreement with you. Well, it sounds like you're defending yourself, because you're not really explaining where all that money went. I mean, yeah, you're saying that it went into. You're saying that 10,000s was just for the pencils, and you still don't have a completed book. What the fuck was your artist page rate? $1,000 a page? I mean, shit. He does say that no, I was not scared away from CG or Twitter by any platform, by any group. I can guarantee you, I'm the last person who will ever be afraid of anyone or group. I just believe in being peaceful and harmonious towards everyone. Yeah, that's why you sat on the Solem Witch Trials council and basically called for the deplatforming of War Campaign and the cancellation of Vestige. Yeah, yeah. You may all have lost hope in this project, but even after I refund, which I will, Detective Dead will get made and shipped even if I have to work tooth and nail for it. I'm not giving up on this project. I owe you more than you shall ever consider. I am grateful to you all. Don't count this project out like anything in life. This is just an obstacle that I need to overcome. I want to be a man of my word, and I will get this project into your hands. However, it will take some time. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hearing me out. Sorry, it's early. So he's not selling the project to Preston Poulter. So that's good news. He says that he's going to refund all of his backers, but he has no money. So this is obviously going to take some time, a lot of time. We're looking at probably like 3 to 5 years to come up with 40 grand. If you have no income source or no way to get said money. And then he's still going to ship the book out. So he's obviously talking out of his ass here. I don't believe a word that this asshole says at this point. I think he's just a straight up grifter. What he is doing, what he has done, is going to be a detriment to Comicsgate. It's going to hurt the little guys, the first time creators, the people who are trying to launch their first book, because the consumer is going to think twice about backing a book from somebody who's never produced a book before. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why Gat Hanzo is waiting until the fulfillment of Vestige before he launches the next project, CG Jumpstart, because he wants to prove to the backers, to the consumers, to the random viewer that they can produce a book. They will get it into your hands. It's going to be a high quality project before he goes into launching his next campaign. And he's also said that from here on out, basically, that every project, he wants to have the proof copy in hand before he even launches the book. So he wants to make sure that everything is ready to go. So this whole 6 months to a year or more turnaround for some of these projects goes away. And there's a lot of other people out there too that are they're doing the exact same thing. I just thought of another first timer that delivered, and that was Sweetcast with Downcast. Absolute quality book, graphic novel quality, thick page count, just absolutely stunning book. First time campaign, and he made up in like the 20,000s on that book. So he made a good chunk of change, but still, he paid his artists. He fulfilled his tiers. He put out a quality book. This is not as hard as Critius is making it out to say. So of course we've got comments galore down here, but EVS I think says it the best. This wasn't the way, brother. We could have figured out a way to make this project happen and helped you at any point along this journey, but you disappeared. This is why CG works. It's a network of people who can help you succeed. I'm always here. And I mean, that's, Hail Caesar, the generous. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Critius could have done that he didn't do. And I think that's why he ended up disappearing from Twitter at the end of last year. He went into hiding, basically. He knew he fucked up. He didn't want to come to terms with it, so he just kind of ran away from everybody. If that was the case, it shouldn't have taken him this long to come out with this, I'm going to call this a half truth because I just don't believe most of it. I would like to believe that he's not selling to Preston Poulter, because that's just a terrible, terrible idea. But I think the rest of it's all just it's a smoke screen. This is schemes and scams at its finest, at its absolute finest here. So yeah, I really, the comments on the last video, a lot of people are in agreement that this is going to hurt the little guy. People don't seem to be too upset that they are potentially out of money if they don't get a refund, which I don't think. If you get a refund, like I said, it's going to be 3 to 5 years down the road. This dude's going to have to get just some kind of regular job, and start chipping away his debt over time. It's going to take a long time to pay off that kind of debt, slowly but surely. But people are bringing up that it's not. It's gonna hurt the little guy. It's gonna make the consumer a little bit leery before they back their next project from somebody who hasn't produced a book before. And that does not bode well for a lot of creators out there. We're into what we like to call CG Phase 3, where you've got these newer up and coming creators that are putting out just absolutely quality books. Grim Reaper campaign, that's a great one. And they only made a couple $1,000s, and here they are, working on their second campaign. They've made more on the second campaign than they have on the first, which is absolutely great. It shows growth. It shows that this is a sustainable model. Don't listen to the haters, because they really don't know what they're talking about. They don't pay enough attention to the little campaigns out there. You've got Michael Derrick's Grayscale, which just got funded. That's actually his second book, though, but he produced The Abductables last year, which made about a little over $7,000, and that's including what Indiegogo takes out and shipping and all that. So that's not what it netted. That's essentially what it grossed. But put out a quality project, good thick book. It was like a 52-page count. Paid his artist, paid to ship it all across the world, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're a consumer, I do ask of you, do not let this one asshole deter you from backing books. Don't let this be a stain on our rising community. Just ignore it. Hopefully you get your money back if you backed it. If you didn't, well, good for you. I will be honest, I did not back this book. The campaign was already done and closed by the time I started coming around, and I don't normally go back and back books from the past. It doesn't usually bode well, because a lot of these first round CG books, people didn't know what they're doing. I will give Critious a little bit of credit there. A lot of people got in over their heads. They didn't realize what it was going to take. They promised these books and said they'd have them fulfilled by this date, when in actuality they probably should have said this date. But those days are over. The days of CG, we'll call it Phase 2, are done. Long done. We're on to Phase 3 now. We're getting books into backers' hands as quickly as possible. Passion for Drawing, I'm pretty sure he said the other day that he just wrapped up the inks on Doom Fate. So he'll be coloring that, lettering that, getting that to print very soon, which is going to be a great book. Can't wait to get that one in my hands. Blood Hunt is another one, the one that I'm working on with Sim. That's his baby. That's going to be a beautiful 70-page book. Black and white, but again, it's at like a little over $7,000, but it's coming out. It's definitely going to arrive into backers' hands. Magic Cop, another one. Phil Diaz just posted yesterday, I think it was, on Twitter that the book is finished, all the way done. They did the last page of lettering, so that is going to be going to get sent to print very soon as well. And look, another, you know, they've produced books before, the Diaz brothers have, but this is their first crowdfunding run. And look, they're a team of their word. So definitely don't let this guy, this one asshole, this Critius, this ridiculous person get you down. This will fade. We'll get past this. Don't worry. But I will continue to keep you guys updated on this. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed and you've got the bell rung for notifications so you can stay up to date. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and of course, sound off in the comments and let me know what you guys think of this development. Is Critius being, genuine here? Is this just another pity party that he's running like he did with the last Indiegogo update? We'll see. Until then, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.